Seeking any relief from the elements, they searched out dank mountain caves in which to rest their weary bodies. In 1942, Hitler realized that the Allies might well try to liberate Europe through the Balkans. Yugoslavia, previously a military sideshow, was suddenly a major theater of the European war. Churchill and FDR took increased interest in its internal affairs. Hitler offered 100,000 Reichsmarks for Tito's capture or his assassination. When that failed, he ordered a series of offenses against the partisans. Tito was not above a deal with the devil. Desperately battling both Nazis and Yugoslav royalists, he secretly tried to arrange a live-and-let-live deal with the Germans. But Hitler squelched the plan, saying, "I never parley with rebels. I shoot rebels." For a year, Tito's highly mobile guerrillas avoided a direct encounter with the Nazis. By June 1943, 120,000 German and Italian troops surrounded just 20,000 partisans in the mountains above the river Drina. Tito was trapped.
Suddenly a German plane flew very low above the place where Tito and his commanders were standing and dropped some bombs. And several of Tito's commanders were killed. And Tito threw himself on the ground, and his dog threw himself over Tito. And the splinters from the bomb killed the dog and saved Tito's life. Tito was wounded by another splinter, but he would have been killed if the dog hadn't saved his life.
Through 10 days of relentless attacks, Tito's calm courage held the partisans together. Hitler furiously demanded that he be killed. The Luftwaffe zeroed in on his headquarters.
With the air thick with German bombers and the whole weight of German infantry and artillery thrown against him, he managed to cross this river and climb up the other side and then escape sort of 20, 30 miles and leaving the Germans behind absolutely exhausted.
Tito had survived and saved 2/3 of his men. The fight, which came to be known as the Battle of Sutjeska, made him an instant legend. Yugoslavs from all walks of life flocked to join the heroic partisans. Within a few short months, Tito commanded 220,000 men. His compatriots saw him as a brave warrior, not yet aware that his true calling was as a politician.
Tito would have been a good politician in America. He would have been a pretty good politician in much of Europe because he had a self-confidence that the people whose support he sought knew him and understood him, and that he knew them and understood them.
Tito never forgot his overriding goal, to end the war with him atop a communist government. Needing to win the hearts and minds of the Yugoslav people, he kept up a steady drumbeat of propaganda. Every partisan division carried typewriters and mimeograph machines ready to produce one-sheets glorifying Marshal Tito and his Liberation Front.
I remember one attack, one of their real prizes was liberating a small printing press. They then asked me if I could arrange for another printing press to be parachuted to them. They regarded this as just as important, or maybe more important, than getting guns and explosives.
Now a certified war hero, Tito branded Yugoslav royalists as German collaborators.
The propaganda machine is also very good at hiding things. While the propaganda machine is blowing out to everybody who wants to know, and even to those who don't want to know, the way in which his rivals have had contacts with Germans, Italians, and various collaborationist administrations, he's very good at hiding that he has had any contacts with the Germans at all.
In August 1944, he achieved his greatest propaganda feat to date, meeting as equals with Winston Churchill. It was an odd pairing, the old imperialist ready to join hands with any foe of Hitler, and the crafty communist war hero.
I wish to assure from this place the people and leading men of Great Britain that they should consider the people of my country as their truest allies, because the people of New Yugoslavia are tending towards the same aim as the people of Great Britain.
He met with Churchill, gave Churchill commitments about the post-war world, democracy, freedom of the press, freedom of personal movement, which didn't materialize at all.
Having publicly embraced the West, Tito secretly raced to keep them from claiming the Balkans. Worried that they would prevent him from establishing a communist government, he turned to his old sponsors in the Kremlin.
So suddenly, without telling Churchill, he flew off to Moscow and persuaded Stalin to hurry up and occupy in Belgrade and Yugoslavia before the British could.
Tito had played both sides to perfection, taking his allies where and when he could find them. He had thrust himself to the pinnacle of power.
I remember the victory party at the end of the war, a huge reception, British, American, Russian officers, as well as partisan officers. He presided over this with a grace and dignity. It was absolutely amazing for a man who had come out of the forest, been a communist underground worker all his life. One almost had the impression that he had been born to it as a Habsburg prince.
The poor Croat peasant had risen to reign over a united Yugoslavia.